Hello, we are back with another stream with the Bankroll challenge. So let's see how it's gonna go. Bankroll is currently at 628 bucks. So yeah, gonna try to keep the win streak up. Let's go for a loose open here. Playable hand down here in table 3. Get an open raise. We can 3-bet, we can call. Kind of both works well. Let's see what else develops. See a 3-bet. We could go for a cold 4-bet, but I'd rather take, you know, suited Broadway, King, Ace 10, Ace Jack, Ace King, obviously, King Queen, then Ace 5. Pretty looking Ace King suited. And we're gonna 3-bet against an under the gun open raise. If you get a 4-bet, we're probably just jamming it, but I definitely prefer a call. Pretty decent looking flop, I'd say. Gonna start with a small bet. And we take it down. Perfect. Don't mind that. Obviously, wouldn't mind a call either when you have so much equity, but hey. Hello guys, I have a quick announcement for you. It's time for another group coaching, the upgraded version of the beloved single raise pot specialist. The first 4 lessons now come with sharper strategies and a clearer framework, so you'll always know how to approach each spot with confidence. And as by request, we've swapped out the final lesson to cover the most common river line probing after calling a flop c-bet. If you're still unsure how to play solid, theory-based poker or how to exploit your opponents in the most common spot in poker, this group coaching is for you. There's simply no easier or more affordable way to seriously level up your game. Check out the announcement in the Discord or DM me if you have any questions. Hope to see you there. Now let's get back to the video. On table 4 we have the King 9 suited, mainly looking to defend versus an open raise, but also occasionally throw in a little 3-bet. Hey, you're sponsored by Red Bull. I wish, no. I'm not. Just got this t-shirt. How are you doing, Hard? I saw you're playing 100NL now, is that correct? Not typically a hand I would bluff, but he checked back really quickly. So I think I'm just going for a stab there on the turn. And then looking to bluff rivers where kind of a lot of my bluffs complete. Let's say A10, A7, A5. I think I can very credibly bluff those. Or we take it down on the turn already, even better. Checked back a little bit quickly, so I think going for a little exploitative bluff on the turn already should be fine. We're opening up the Ace Jack suited now, in table 1. And we get a call from the button. Interesting board. Gonna check it over to the button. Button is gonna have 8s and 6s full frequency, maybe Ace 8 suited. And we're gonna have a lot more trash like King 5 of hearts that he's not really going to have. So we kind of want to protect our range, and obviously Ace Jack, a hand that can very comfortably check call. But if all the money goes in, we probably just have to fold, so don't mind keeping the pot somewhat smaller. Against half pot, we're gonna check call. You should probably use a bit of a larger sizing, but I'm happy to see a smaller one. And now we're really hoping to see a check on the turn. If he barrels here, he's mainly wrapping something stronger than Ace Jack. Versus non-overbet, I still just have to call. But if he triples, we're very likely going to just fold this. Assuming this is a regular, which, you know, this guy could still be a recreational. In which case it's probably better to call, but it's very close. We just really hope he checks this back now. But we see another pot size bet, which is not good news. And I think I'm just going to fold this. Just don't really see him bluffing enough in this spot. He's gonna have all the 2 pairs. I think we just need to make a disciplined lay down there. Meantime, we are in a 3-bet pot. We're going to check on the flop. You can definitely go for a bet or a check. I think either is fine. And then turn, when the flush completes, I think I'm just going to check again. It's a bit thin to value bet now. But if it checks down twice, I'm gonna throw the value bet now. Trying to get called by 8, 7, 6s, maybe ace 5. Gonna have a lot of perceived bluffs there. Random king queens, king jacks, overcards. Don't think he's gonna put me in a 9-2 too often here. So we might even get looked at by ace king, ace queen, but unfortunately he does fold. Salon Honka Supermax, how are you doing, man? Hope you're having a nice Sunday evening. Let's see. On table 3, with the ace jack off, we just get a fold. Table 4, with ace 6 suited, which we could throw in as a little 3-bet bluff from the button. Against earlier positions, probably we take rather ace 5, ace 4. But here in late positions, ace 6 should also be fine. Hard says here, both 100 and 200 NL even. I'll just say this month is already better than last one. We definitely send graph at the end of the month. Awesome, man. Really happy to hear that. Really great to hear that it's going so well. For everybody in the chat, Hard is a student of Peter who has been crushing it lately. I think he moved up from 5 NL right where he started all the way to 100, 200 now in less than half a year, I would say, or maybe within the last half year. So really great progress. Just awesome to see. Alright, to get some more 10 NL tables, but we don't want those. And unfortunately we get a code forward with the ace 6 suited to a really small price. This is like a min, it's not even 3x. Tempting to call this, but I think we still fold. Yeah. Really weird, he goes really small. Obviously if he's bluffing, he gets a really good price, but most of the time when people go that small, there's a reason, and very often it's just a strong hand. But yeah, let's see, on table number 5, one of the outer tables, we're playing against the recreational. Gonna isolate the pretty 8-7 suited. We take a call. Pretty good flop for us, I would say. Just gonna start with a small bet, expecting to get floated somewhat wide. So there's a lot of nice turns to double barrel on the 3. I think we get a little bit less respect if we double barrel. We might get looked up at an ace high a little bit more often. Can go either way here between bet and check. And really happy, obviously value betting now. I think most ace highs are calling here. Really like the ace jack and your thought process. Awesome. Yeah, these spots are usually ones that you don't really want to bluff catch all that much. Just hard for him to bluff a lot in a spot like this in the first place, and if we have a bluff catcher, we don't beat value. You don't need to think much further. Unless they're recreational and their range is really wide, then maybe you wanna call down a spot like this, but against most regulars it's probably best to just fold. Let's see if we can get something interesting going. We have have a hand that we can open raise here on table 4. See if we can get some action. Obviously with king 10 off, we also don't mind just taking down the blinds. So going for a spicy little 3-bet over here. This is mainly to do with the ante, that we have to 3-bet a little bit wider. And then table 4 we get 3-bet and we just have to fold. But on table 5 we flopped a flush draw on a pretty good board for us, I'd say. And this is one where you can represent the 7 really good. And in position won't really have a lot of 7x, so going to raise this up. Oh, sorry guys, wrong table. Here we go. So we defend against MP, check raise and take it down. Awesome. Especially these low paired boards where the big blind, where we as the big blind are gonna have a decent amount of those trips, and in position won't really have any of those. We should really attack and punish them. Table 2 we open raise, we got a flat call from the small blind, sorry, from the button and the big blind. We checked around on the flop. On the turn, could go for a little stab now. We pick up a gut shot, you can represent the king quite well. We put pressure on random under pairs, get a really quick call. Still going to bet, just making him fold his missed draws, maybe some under pairs, but never expect him at jack or king to fold. But maybe a missed ace-high flush draw. And we take it down, which is great. I'll enter in the chat, how are you doing, Toby? Good to see you, good to see you. I was about to grind, but my PC is having some problems, so my tables already crashed while I was playing. 501k, I was like, no. Don't really wanna play anymore, so let's just throw on the stream. Allowed to exploit, definitely. It's just more like a name. Because mainly, I guess Peter has an even more exploitative approach than me, but I think you will see a lot of exploits also from my side, especially on stakes like this one. Here we have an interesting spot already, facing this really small c-bet with backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw. I think we have to peel this against a 17% c-bet. And now we get a jack on the turn, we get a quick check. We can either bluff this now or check this back. Buttons are not working. I don't mind bluffing this right away. He's obviously gonna protect his range a bit, but I don't think we get check raised. And if you get check raised with a 7 higher flush draw and have to fold, it's not the end of the world compared to getting jack jam. Let's say when we had 10-9 there or queen 10 with the combo draw, where we kind of have to call off, but we don't really want to. Those are maybe ones that I would check back, and obviously we're gonna call every jack hex in the world on flop and then get there on the river. And then also Stefan Mr. Zockner in the chat, thanks for the good luck, man. And Snipes also in the chat, good to see you in the chat. Not good good that you're not on the tables, only gonna watch. Already played my session. Awesome. It's good, one competitor less at the tables, that's competent. More space for recreationals, hopefully. Let's see, we have pocket sixes now on table 3. We have 1, 2, 3 10 tables and 3 25 tables. Gonna try to get also on these other 25 tables. We just take it down. There's one more 25 table, so let me get on that one. And table 1 we have a limp pot. We see one big blind bet, we just gonna call. And then on table 3, we're gonna 3-bet the pocket kings. And just take it down. Table 6, we open raise the king 7 suited. Got some playable hands now. Okay, we flop a flush draw here. Multi-way, again multi-way, low board, out of position. We're just gonna start with a range check and then kind of take it from there. And we turn the flush, which is always great. Now the question is just how do we get the max value there? Given that in position check back, I don't expect too many reopens. So I'm just going to bet there myself. And we just unfortunately take it down. And then I'm gonna sit out that table and switch it with a 25 NL table. A new one that I got. So let's switch some tables around. 1 second, guys. Because we have a table heads up. Playing against, I'm not sure if it's a regular or a recreational, but it is not this one, it is this one. There we go. Went for c-bet, we get a raise, quite a quick raise. And assuming this guy is a recreational, I think I'm actually going to call this one. We also have the diamond going for us. Obviously we're kind of drawing that against the king. Obviously 6s and 4s could be a thing. But I think we definitely have to call one at least on the flop, and now we kind of hope not to see a jam. And I think here we fold. This is a spot where I expect him to be over bluffing. But he could also just randomly jam in like 6-5 of hearts, which is kind of a disaster for us. Never fold a king, never fold any under pair or any pair here, but I think ace queen high on a double flush draw turn against a quick jam, I'm gonna let go. We're calling a 3-bet here, and we see a check, which is interesting on this board. Gonna just start with a stab, expecting not really to get check raised enough. If we get check raised, it's sort of annoying, but I think we can be okay just folding this. And if we get called, we can barrel and apply a lot of pressure against a somewhat capped range. Don't really think he's check calling many overpairs here, to be honest. So on a turn like this one, we're definitely going to barrel. Wrapping queens, jacks, 9s, 7s, 5-4, those type of hands. Mainly trying to make him fold ace king, ace queen. We do take it down. Kind of face up the way he's playing there. It's quite hard in this spot to defend yourself if you're not check calling over pairs, or you know, 9s sometimes, and just always c-betting that hand. Oh, sorry guys, we're back on table 5. Take it down. Table 3, we also open raise, take it down. Table 5, we're gonna open raise it with the jack 9 suited. We get not just one but 2 callers. Probably not the best spot, but you never know. You never know. We flopped top pair, which is decent. Again, low board, out of position. Gonna start with a check. Kind of see what develops here. We see a 2 checks, which is great. We could go for a small bet here. Could also just check call. I think both options are fine. I'm going to check again. See a small bet. Could be a 10, could be whatever random overcards. Obviously we have a very easy call, and then on the river we have a decision. If we don't improve, 10 gets there, flush gets there. Don't expect too many flush draws in his range. Could definitely have a 10x. Could also have a random, lots of random other hands, so very likely going to just check call, unless he goes with a massive bet. Goes, sizes up a little bit from the turn. Which isn't ideal, but I think we're still gonna call it. We're gonna run into 10 here a decent amount of the time, but it's gonna be king jacks, ace jacks, those type of hands too, and random jack eights that I don't know what he's doing, but we take it. And this guy very likely to be a recreational. Table 1 we see, but we got check raised. We face a double barrel. This is by no means a great spot, but we have the redraw to the nuts, so the turn decision is quite easy, but river unimproved, we will likely just have to fold facing another barrel. If he has a flush draw, he might give it up now. Let's say he has a hand like 9-7. I would also assume he's just gonna give it up and not barrel through. And yeah, seeing a check raise triple barrel all in on a board like this one, I don't even think in theory you need to call this hand. I mean, we're gonna have ace 8, we're gonna have ace 6, ace jack, ace 9, all the sets, all the straights, so very easy fold there. We also block some of the potential hands he could be bluffing with, like the 5-4 or low flush draws. So yeah, definitely don't get sticky there. And we get check raised again, but this time we have a pretty decent hand. So let's call. And then see what happens. He checks on a turn. Check raise, very quick check. This guy's a recreational. Think I'm going just for a small bet in case he has a king. I want to make sure I get 2 more streets of value. Maybe we're gonna chop against an ace if we get called, but just in case he does have a king, I don't think he's gonna be able to fold this. We have a lot of perceived random pocket deuces, pocket threes, pocket fours that we could bluff here. So going for a decently large bet, hoping to get a hero from a king. And we do just get the fold. Curious what he called with on the turn. Maybe I had a queen jack. That now folds river. Maybe he also got away from a king. Table 6, we open raised, we check back the flop. On the turn we're gonna check back again. Bit too thin to reopen. Most likely just gonna value on ourselves. And the 6, he could definitely have a 6. Would be a hand that makes a lot of sense to check on the turn. He should value bet any 7, any 8. He could have some traps. But I almost want to value bet, get called by 3. Maybe ace highs. Not sure if people call this though on 10 and L. I think I'm actually just gonna check this back. He just has ace 9. Could be a potential nice spot to go for thin value bet, but I'm not really sure if people call ace highs on this take. So I'd rather just check this back. Don't want to value own myself. I'm not really getting called by. I'm gonna open raise the ace jack here. And we get 3-bet, unfortunately just have to fold. Over on table 1 we got a small blind flat, which is quite interesting. And I'm gonna play a bit more polarized against the small blind. And so middling pair, I'm just gonna check it back. Gonna see what he does on the turns. You can have 3s and deuces. King queen, king jack, king 10 suited. but... And he goes for a pot bet sizing. Interesting. I think holding the jack of spades in my hand, blocking some of his main bluffs, I'm actually just gonna fold this right away. Seems nitty checking back and then just folding second pair. Obviously mainly our plan was to call, but once he polarizes, saying he has a king, which we're drawing close to that too, or set, which we are drawing that against, and if not, you know, he's bluffing a flush draw, maybe 4-5, maybe ace-4, ace-5. We're not doing too well, so I think we're gonna see a river barrel often as well, and we kind of have to plan ahead. If we call this flop, what are we gonna do facing another barrel on the river? And the answer is kind of fold. If the answer is fold, then maybe we can fold turn already. Don't think it's that outrageous. Obviously gonna check back some weak king X that make for very likely better calls, but also you know, and flush draw that I call with on the flop, probably also better to call. That turn probe, at least have some more equity to improve. Down here on table 4, we're gonna 3-bet against what looks like a regular. We would be calling against a 4-bet, although I prefer not to see one. And we get a low flop. It's almost too low to really matter. Like, he doesn't really have 5s, 3s, 2s all that much, but I'm still going to check back because there's going to be lots of turns like this one where even if we had an overpair, we wouldn't be happy. And now just trying to check it down with my ace queen high. In the meantime, table 2, the recreational led into us, we raised and now have a super monster combo draw. Almost afraid of raising and then him 3-bet jamming over the top, so I'm just gonna call. I can still bluff if he checks to me on the river, and obviously we have a shitload of equity here. And we do improve on the river, and very interestingly, I'm gonna zoom out. On table 4, he checked all the way down and now we see an overbet. Really not loving this. But I think I'm gonna call. I think he is mainly gonna lead out the turn. Obviously could have tried to trap me there, but just gonna call this. And we see the bad news. And on table 2, we see another lead. Going just absolutely greedy here and jamming this in. Although his small lead makes it a little bit less likely he has a very strong hand. I'm actually gonna... Nah, I'm just going to jam this. I think recreationals are too inelastic in a spot like this one. And he does call. Oh wow, he actually has a better flush. Unfortunate there. This is a cooler that we can't really get away with. Away from. Bit unfortunate there. A bit unfortunate. The ace queen down on table 4, we could maybe even consider folding once he overbets. Just really didn't expect him to slow play strong hands on the turn there enough, and just trying to steal the pot on the river, but you know, the overbet sizing was a little suspicious. Also the fact that we have so many ace-x there. And unfortunately the recreational left after he stacked us. But we have another 25 in the table, which is good. Gonna swap that in a second. First down here in table 3, we're gonna 3-bet the recreational. And we get a call. Unfortunately brick, but this time at least on a better flop. And oh no, we get a front jam. I mean, nothing we can do with just ace queen high. Let me swap to table 5, which is now this one. So it's not looking good so far, guys. It's not looking good so far. Maybe we can turn it around with the pocket tens here. We're gonna open raise him. Mainly calling versus 3-bets. All the guys behind are regulars now. We get a flat call. Ace 9-9. Can check. We can go for a small c-bet. Both options are fine. I don't mind with let me think. Yeah, I actually don't mind just going for a small c-bet. Checking would be fine too. Get a call. Hard on the turn. Now we're just gonna check and try to sometimes go to showdown against like weaker pocket pairs. But if he starts betting, it's really hard for him to have any bluffs in the spot. Maybe King Jack, King 10 of spades, which we would even block. Maybe he turns low pocket pairs in the bluff, but I don't think that's gonna happen at 25 NL. So if he starts betting, I'm just gonna fold my tens right away. Yeah. Over on table 6, last 10 NL table that we have left. Check down on the flop. We turn top pair, gonna go for a bet now. In position did check back the flop, so they could have, you know, some improved top pair. I was about to say I'm gonna check call on bricks. This is again a really unfortunate run out. We kind of have to hope we beat a weaker king now. Ace Jack. But it's gonna be really hard to win here at showdown. And if he bets again, he would need to start turning a queen into bluff to have enough bluffs there. I think today is gonna be a lesson for disciplined folds. Sure, he could have the 6-7 checking back the flop calling a turn, but it's just not gonna be enough to be calling here. Meanwhile, table 1, we 3-bet. And we flopped up pair at least this time. Gonna start off with a small c-bet here. And we get a call. And also on table 6 we went for a 3-bet in position and got a call. But let's stay on table 1 for a second. Where I think I'm just going to check back the turn and then call the river. And once he checks again, we can now go for a value bet. Getting called by maybe a hand like ace queen, king 10, king 9. Hands in that direction. We just get a fold. Table 6. Went for this. Sorry. This is not table 6. Why is table 6 not showing? It's showing the wrong table. 1 second, guys. We see with the flop. And then check turn, check river, and we're winning against pocket 8s. Great. Table 4, we call an open raise. We see a small c-bet. We're just gonna call middling pair. Could maybe raise a 6-7, 6-5 with some backdoor equity, but this one I'm just going to play in a check call line. And then hoping turn goes check. If he overbets here, goes for large bet, I'd mainly just fold there. I have so many better hands. And then really happy to see the check. Now just checking, trying to get to showdown. I don't think I really get called by worse if I bet. Therefore, we check. And then we have a decision if we face a bet. If he has an ace, I expect him to somewhat often bet the turn. Is he betting a jack for value? I don't think so. Could he have a flush? For sure. Could he have a lot of other hands as well? Yes. This is somewhat close. is not great. Obviously, yeah, but I'm still gonna call this. Too many random king 10, king, queen 10 with a diamond that might just want to go for the bluff now. He does have a weak ace, which makes a lot of sense. But I think we just wanna call. It's wide positions. Probably wanna get quite sticky there. Here it was a limped pot. He bet the flop. We called. You're gonna go for a small step on the turn. And we get a call. Queen pairing is not the best river. And he leads out, not gonna fold, but really not loving the spot. And he has randomist flush draw. Sure, we take it. Here we went for a c-bet on the flop, going to check the turn now. And we see an overbet, really aggressive. We definitely have an easy call. We have a redraw top pair. Not gonna go anywhere yet, but quite surprising to see the overbet there, if I can be honest. And the 6, kind of a horrible river, because we lose to every 9 now that he could be bluffing with. We block queen jack, we block the jack of hearts, potential bluff candidates that he could have, so hoping he checks back. But yeah, this just looks like, you know, 8-7 that now wants some extra value, 4 to a straight after he overbets the turn. Folds over folds over folds, guys. Table 2, however, is an interesting spot. We got called by the recreational. And again, probably one of the worst runouts, but I think I'm still gonna call against the recreational. Especially against half pot here. I just don't think I can fold, even though this runout is horrendously bad. At least we have the jack of diamonds. And yeah, he did again river us. Maybe on this round we could get away, but against half pot there's gonna be too much bullshit in his range to be folding there. But yeah, again, not a great spot. And here we're gonna go for half pot c-bet with 2 overs, backdoor flush draw. Can apply a lot of pressure right away. Unfortunately, we don't pick up any equity. The 5 actually helps him a lot. So it looks like we just have to check back and then fold the river, most likely. With barrel here, having spades, obviously. But then also much prefer not having hearts, because those are the hands that he's gonna float the flop with. Now the ace we are gonna bluff though. We can represent a lot of ace-x in our range. He's gonna have pocket threes sometimes, sure, but we can put a lot of pressure on his random one pair hands. Fortunately, we get snapped again, and he snaps us with 10s, which is even worse. So not going too well today. This guy doesn't like folding. We obviously have a lot of ace-x here, ace-king, ace-queen, that play all in a very similar fashion. But he figured that we have too many bluffs, which might be true actually. Table 3, we defend blindly blind, we call a large bet on the flop, and we're very happy to make trips on the turn now. Going to bet, want to give him a little bit of rope, so I don't want to go too large, because I'm also going to bet the river and he might just fold the queen at some point. We get a check raise, basically the nuts, unless we run into pocket queens. So we're quite happy about this. Just gonna call. Don't really think he's going to keep bluffing on the river, but who knows? You never know. And he checks now. Guess mainly he's gonna have just absolutely nothing, but just in case, I think we can throw it a little bit, maybe inducing something. Maybe like half pot. Something along those lines. Don't really expect to get called there, yeah. Pretty obvious we have a king at this point. Going for the 3-bet here, the ace-5 suited, taking it down. And back to table 3, we have pocket 10s. And hopefully we get to play against the recreational, which we do. I'll just size up here. Don't really expect this guy to be folding too much, but we don't know if he raises or gets it in. Oh, we get a cold 4-bet, which is not great. I'm gonna call. We could jam 10s here, but we're a little slightly deeper, so I'm just gonna call, hoping for a 10 obviously, or low flop. We have flush draw. That's something, but it's still not great. He goes for a small c-bet, so at least we get to see a turn. Really hoping for a 10 or for another club here, or just a check on a turn. Hoping for a check back now. We could have jacks, 9s here, flushes for sure, so it's not like we don't have any strong hands there. We see a check back and we get there actually on the river. He's gonna have some better flush draws, but I think we can still go for a block bet here. Trying to get some value from aces, kings without a club. We could check, let him bluff too. But I think at those stakes again, don't expect people to really bluff this spot too much. If he jams now, I mean, there's no bluffs. And again, we would have jacks and 9s in that line too, so it's not like we don't have any full houses. Or not flushes that, you know, could go for a small bet, trying to squeeze out a little value. Bluffs here would be a hand like king queen, calls the flop, gets there, 8-7 suited if we want to call, and we just get the fold. Happy to not see a jam there, to be honest. At least one table, winning 50 bigs, that's something. But yeah, not looking too great this session so far, but things can still turn around. One setup, one cooler. That's all we need. There's recreationals on the table, so let's stay hopeful. Let's try to play well. And let's go to table 4, where we are going to 3-bet. Let's have some more action going on some of the other tables. But you get 4-bet, so we just have to fold. Table 6, so we check back the flop. Recreational let out on the turn for half pot, and we called, and now he's going for pot size bet. This is not great. It's really hard to see him bluffing. Any 7 makes a straight, any hearts got there, queen jack got there, so even though we have 2 pair, don't really see what we're beating. So again, we're just gonna fold. I feel like I should just fold everything today, and even the times that I did call, I should have just folded. So yeah, not the best so far. We have another 3-betting candidate here. We got 4-bet from this guy last time, so hopefully this time we don't get 4-bet. Although we have a little stronger hand this time. Still not happy seeing a 4-bet here, 25-0. And to be honest, I'd probably just fold. But calling and flopping top pair is definitely great. Really good board for me. Gonna start out with a small range bet, then we take it down. Table 3, we defend the king queen off. Goes check. Not gonna bluff king queen high, gonna bluff pretty much everything else in this line. but king queen no spade. I'm just gonna check it over once more. We're still ahead of king 10, king jack, queen jack. We see delay c-bet for small now. Which I will call, but it ain't great. Main expecting to just check, for it to go check check and see like ace king or something. King 5, yeah, also made sense. Table 5, going to trio to my pocket 8s. Now this time we obviously want to see a 4-bet. We see a cold 4-bet, that's even better. Although it took him quite a while to find that cold 4-bet, which is slightly confusing. Considering just flat calling, given he took so long. Obviously, wow guys, this is perfect. Looks like it's just gonna be aces against aces. Gonna tank a little bit, but this could be the moment to turn it around. Maybe get a setup against 2 kings or something. Would be amazing there. Don't think kings is able to fold in the button shoes. Didn't snap yet. Maybe kings, queens. Flicks it in here as well. Would be a sick fold if he gets away there. He gets away. And it's aces against aces. Ay. Guys, this was the moment to turn things around and just run it ace into aces. But maybe hearts? No. Just chop it up. At least we chop up the 12 big blinds. Can't obviously complain. Getting some free money, but was hoping for double up here, of course, when you have aces. But yeah, when this guy gets it in behind, I mean, he's pretty much only having aces, kings, maybe ace king, but even that is a stretch already. At least we flopped up here against the recreational. Gonna start with a small bet. I want him to float a lot of stuff here, and then potentially pick up something or bluff later. But again, we're not getting action. We're not getting action. Pocket 7s here will defend against an early position open raise. Gonna check call on this flop. Check, seeing a king on a turn isn't great. And even though we could get bluffed sometimes with 7s where we only have 2 outs to improve, I think we actually just have to check forward facing a delay c-bet here. Yeah, we gotta stay disciplined here. Today, just a lot of folds. Maybe we can do something on table 6, but nope, we get the 3-bet in front of us, so we also have to fold. See if we get one more 25 in L table going. Trying the waiting list there. Would have flopped a very nice stop here, but maybe would have also lost the stack against ace king, who knows. Also nothing going on the other table so far. Oh yeah, we would have run into the aces on table 6. So very happy we didn't went for the cold 4-bet there. They actually trapped the turn. Very well played. Table 1. We open and take it down. And then no more hands at the moment. Well, at least we didn't lose too many big pots yet, I don't think. Just pretty much every small pot that we were involved in, we kind of either bluffed and got called, or opponent got there, so just keep it, keep the round going. Gonna also sit out this 10 NL table and try to get one more 25 NL table going. Maybe a playable hand on table 2. And he opens 5x. I guess there was a limp from early position. Going to still 3-bet this. It's a lot of that money to potentially take down. But obviously 5x is a little large, a little alarming. Maybe just his standard size. There's like queen jack off. Yeah, taking it down here is really, really awesome. And now we have one more 25 NL table, just 25 NL tables now. So table 6 is now the last 25 NL table, which is not this one, but this one. Nope, also not. Give me a second, guys, till I find the right table. It is again super confusing because CoinPoker just has the same name for all the tables, but there we go, we found it. We have a playable hand on table 3 where we open raise, just take it down. Table 2, we're gonna open raise it. We're just 6-handed here, so should be fine. We get a cold call from the recreational. Yeah, please don't post any links, guys. And you have to. Again, we get a horrible, horrible flop. Only could get worse if it were two-tone, so we just have to check forward there. Nothing really can do. Maybe he lets it go check check, but nope. He can just slap his entire range there. Really, really good board for him. Gonna open raise on table 1. It's a bit loose, but we have a recreational and a big blind, so I wanna open raise a little bit wider. Now we take it down. I have the pocket 5s and the big blind. Can potentially do something there. And yep, we will call an open raise. And unfortunately don't flop anything. We don't even have a diamond, so against early position, even against a small c-bet, we will just have to fold. Definitely against a large c-bet. Alright guys, I'm sorry. I would love to show you guys some more interesting pots, all in pre-flops, triple barrel bluffs, whatever, but we are just not getting absolutely nothing. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in a chat while nothing is really going on. We have a hand blindy blind. Important spots as well, wide ranges for both players. Against a 3-bet queen to know, just a little too weak, we'd have to fold. And yeah, folded around to us with the queen 10 suited. 10-3 off, 7-3 off, 10-4 suited, 5-4 off. Auto tables also absolutely nothing. Just folding at the moment. Waiting for anything somewhat playable. Maybe something with the king queen. Oh, we get to open raise from the button. I'll just take it down. Seven, 6 suited now. Against the recreational, I would actually 3-bet there. Want to play pots in position against this guy, although he's quite passive so far. Still want to get involved. Expecting to not really get 4-bet often enough, and 3-bet pots in position against recreationals are one of the more profitable situations that you can be in. So I want to take this marginal 3-bets, and obviously as I say that, we see the 4-bet, and because this guy is shorter stack, I'm just going to fold right away. Going for a 4-bet bluff here in really, really tight positions. We get a call, we flop top pair. Not even sure how happy I am on this flop, but difficult to get away. Obviously could be running into 10s or queens there. King, queen, ace, king could also be in his range, which are hands that we can get value from. And I was about to say we don't want to see hard on the turn. On bricks we could just jam this in against king, jack, ace 10 of hearts, king 10 of hearts on this turn. We're just gonna check this. Hope to see a check behind, although he could check behind a flush. If he jams, I think we can actually just get away from this. I don't really see him bluffing king queen against a small bet. We'll call one, but we're really not loving this. We're chopping sometimes against ace jack. We're still ahead. It's super interesting now. Do we front jam this against what? Ace king. Ace king. Maybe front jam is better than check calling actually, because we can't really fold now. We beat ace 10. Good luck. Oh, also the chat before. Oh, guys, can we fold this for less than half pot? I really, really want to fold, especially if he types in the chat. Good luck. Or we just chop with. Meantime, we have an all in here on table 2. Definitely calling off against a short stack. He just has a set. And back to table 6. I think we have to call this off. Just hope we run into ace jack, but this is definitely not great. And somehow guys, we found the 5-4 offsuit 3-bet, called 4-bet, and then just blast it off. I guess that's also one of the reasons we have to just check call. What was that? And now he opens 4x. Normally this wouldn't be a defend, but against our newly, I'm gonna hunt you, yes. Against a guy like this, we definitely have to get involved. We have a nut shot, half pot, backdoor flush draw again. Not gonna fold. Just calling one basically. Our implied odds are through the roof if we hit. We are very likely to get a stack. And now we just hope he goes check check. But against any barrel, we just have to fold now. But at least we got a little donation there. After all the missed pots. And not looking forward to bluff this guy. Just gonna try and get him some to fold some ace highs here. But not really expecting too much fold equity, and we get a call from a 7. That makes sense. Table 5, we are 4-betting the ace king suited, obviously calling off at a jam in wide positions. We just take it down, which is great. Back to our favorite player. Fortunately, we don't flop anything. But we're still gonna go for a small c-bet. We have a lot of nice backdoors. Bro, 5 PPIs on 25 with 7 sevens is a brave one. You think so? I think it's quite standard. Like, just because people so I think they just go too large with too weak of a range, and I think we should just punish that, to be honest. Even though obviously it doesn't feel great, but if they're not really 4-betting us, probably doing quite well still. We have a few more hands, so let me zoom out here. We go for the block bet with the 9-7. We get snap calls, so we should be good there. Don't know what that means, why he just calls there, but okay, we take it. King Jack on bottom on table 3, we get check raised. We'll call 1 with the nut shot and 1 overcard. You could sometimes check for the draw on the turn, but again, we're mainly just hitting for the implied odds, or calling for the implied odds. And obviously folding on the turn. Table 2 against 2 potential recreations. I'm going to call my pocket 8s there, expecting this other guy to call very often, and again hitting a set here should very often win me a stack. What the fuck is this CoinPoker? Yes, this is CoinPoker. 3-bet call, 4-bet 5-4-0. And it checks around, which is actually good. Sorry, went table 2. Just quickly took a note on our friend there from table 6. Half pot here. This guy hasn't really been bluffing so far. And he bets multi-way. I definitely call any queen. And then jacks, 10s, but I think 8s we just need to fold. Yeah. We got a little donation there, but despite that, I think we're still down. We just pretty much lost every other pot so far. But yeah, this guy, the big whale, is still there. He's on the left of, to our left. It's not ideal, but I still think we should be able to get some more money from him. But yeah, Santerre, I think you also can play on CoinPoker. I definitely add it for like 25 NL, up to 100 NL, even 200 NL. I think is really good because the rake is quite low. There's tables running most of the times. 200, I think a little bit less. But below 200, definitely soft. Rake is not so high. You get decent rake back. Software is not amazing, but I think they're doing some updates in the future as well. There's leaderboards, jackpots, kind of everything else. So yeah, pretty decent side, I'd say. With one more table now, which is a bit too much for me, so I'm gonna potentially sit out table 5, where it's just regulars. Table 1, see an open raise. Going to 3-bet this with the ace-9 suited. It's a bit loose again, but we want to play a little bit wider in the anti-games. See a call, flop top pair, which is decent. When the range is narrowed with the 5 PB sizing. Against some players, yes, if they have different sizings. A lot of players just gonna pick pretty much the same sizing with every hand. And we also have a pot proing on table 6 where we 3-bet and got cold call by our friend there. But let's go back to table 1 where we just turned 2 pair. Definitely going to continue barreling here. I think half pot though is the sizing on an ace, or even just 40%. And then table 6 we cold called, got a really bad flop for our range, but we have an open ender. Definitely gonna check call 1, hopefully improve on the turn. This is amazing because I don't think he really puts us on any 4x hands. And table 1 we're just going to jam it, hoping he has like ace king, ace queen, maybe with spades, and we shouldn't really be behind. So let's take a few more seconds and put it all in. And we get a call against ace queen, which is amazing. We take one down there, and table 6, this guy's texting a chat saying he has a straight. We also have a straight, so we're gonna call. Obviously never folding if he jams now. If he has 7s, if he has 9s, 10-9, so be it. We snap calling the river here. He can have a 4 for sure, but also loads of bluffs, and he has absolutely nothing. What a surprise. Thank you very much. So interesting to see. Normally when people text in the chat or write in the chat, they're usually quite strong, but this guy actually has the reverse trick there, which we now know. And he's still not gone. He's reloading. That's very great. Go call 3-bet, 3 deuce off. Yeah, maybe we can turn things around. Couple of stacks coming our ways, which is great. Table 5, we're gonna go for 3-bet. The ace for suited. What do you think, Santea? You wanna give CoinPoker a shot after you see people calling, cold calling 3-bets with 3 deuce off and then just blasting it off like there is no tomorrow? By the way, the call from ace queen with Carlos might look standard on table 1 when we triple barreled ace 9, but I'm never really jamming anything worse than ace king there. So he again just has a bluff catcher. So not too sure if I like his call down there. Quite hard for me to have a lot of bluffs. Seems more rec heavy than on GG. Yes, definitely. GG is always gonna have the most fishes, right? But they also have the highest rake. And if we look at these tables here, we see table 1 we have 1 recreational, other table we have another recreational. Here we have 2 recreationals on table 2, and then down here we have also another recreational, and then table 5, we're gonna sit up because we don't have a recreational. On table 6 we have a massive whale. Is this a Formula 1 shirt? Zola in the chat, hey man. I think so. I actually won it at the climbing competition, but I think it's a Formula 1 shirt, so it's really weird. No action with ace king suited. I think it's a Formula 1 shirt, yeah. I'm gonna flat call here with the recreational behind, min open, so we also get a good price, which is perfect. But unfortunately we don't flop anything. How are you doing, Zola? We see a small donk here. This is interesting. Heads up would definitely raise. With more equity would call as well. But I think here I'm actually just folding. What road? Yeah, this guy was rather strong when he was leading and betting out into people. And let me see, we switch table 5 now, so now it is this one, perfect. Where again we have a recreational, so I think tables are quite good. We get 3-bet by our friend here. We have ace 9 off, so I don't think we can do anything. We'll just give this one up. Let him have this. Don't 4-bet. What a surprise. Let me see what a surprise. Yeah, the guy has absolutely nothing. How are you doing anyway, Zola? Not grinding anymore. You already did your grind for today. Get 3-bet again on table 6 from our friend, who just again gonna stay disciplined and fold. Wait for a better hand, wait for a better spot. We could have again 5-4, but I don't want to get too out of line there. With like calling the bottom of my opening range. Obviously if he keeps 3-betting this much, we have to tighten up a little bit with our open raising range, but for now we don't know. with ace king on one of the outer tables. Unfortunately, the recreational folds, but we get a 3x open raise. Gotta make this 13 against the 3x. Against a 4-bet and late positions, I'm just gonna run it. Yeah, make sure to check out either our website, valueheavy.com, or !Discord in the chat to join our Discord, discuss everything poker related, share some hands, get opinions and feedbacks from others, and obviously if you're interested in coaching as well, that's the place to be. Just check the corresponding channel and you will see all the information there. Probably gonna keep playing about half an hour more. Table 6, this is a close defense with the rake structure, but we'll go for it. And we flopped a nut flush draw with a gut shot, so quite a decent one. And I think this one I'm actually going to use as a bluff raise. Really nice candidate with 4-dot. Better ace-x hands right away. We have a lot of equity to improve. Can put a lot of pressure on anything that's not a flush pretty much by the river. Table 1. Santiago asks, you played 15L there, any regs? Are regs any good? I didn't play 50NL there. Because right now with the challenge we're only up to 25NL. So I can't really tell you. But I don't think they're better or worse than on any other side. I would assume that they're very, very similar. Which is, you know, what's generally across most sides. I wouldn't really, there's gonna be some better recs, some worse recs. People playing too many tables. Yeah, we'll see once we move up to 15 and hopefully soon. We're at 600 bucks now, we need 400 more and then we can start shot taking 15L. I think at the very highest limit, like 500 plus, the recs are potentially a little bit better than on higher stakes, just because it's a site that's available to a lot of people. So yeah, that might be a downside, but I think up to 200NL it should be pretty similar to most other sites. We're gonna defend the 9-8 suited here. We could also occasionally 3-bet that hand, and we flop nothing. A good chilling a little bit before bet. You crushing 25NL swing. No grind today. Alright, man. Against a small c-bet, drawing just to the 10 where any ace makes a straight. I think we just fold. Took slow stand there. Alright. Yeah, it's fine. I was grinding earlier. I was saying it early in the stream. My PC already has some problems. I need to wait until my graphic card came because I was grinding earlier and everything just crashed while I was playing like a couple of tables of 501k and I was like, oh, nope. I was involved in some small pots, but I was like, if I imagine I'm in some river spot and everything crashes, I was like, I will just take a break until my new graphic card comes. But yeah, action was actually quite good today in my pool. I'm gonna open raise the ace-5 suited here. And we flopped the absolute nuts here against the recreational. It's been playing somewhat tight, so we're gonna just start off with a small bet, hoping to get something out of him, but we just see a fold. And then we just have some folds all around. Santiago says yes, but but kill criminal is too good. Ah, the guy. Yeah, not sure. I would love to have this guy on my tables every day. Talking about this guy, a whale playing 57 48 over the small sample and just cold calling 3-2 suited, cold calling 3-bets with 3-2 suited, just blasting it off post flop, calling 4-bets with 5-4 off and blasting it off. So we're really just hoping to get any playable hand and get involved with him. Unfortunately, he 3-bets a lot, which means we can't open too wide. I'm gonna play a hand here multi-way with the recreational. Unfortunately, we brick the flop. And against the half pot c-bet, we're just out. What's that net bankroll management? 10 binds enough to shoot 15L. Would you approve, Sola? Yeah. I think it would definitely be more fun. You know, just shooting 50 and 100 already, trying to run good and, you know, finish the challenge within a couple of weeks. But it could also be over very soon if we run bad. So I think we'll just stay with the safer approach. 20 binds isn't that nitty, I would say. Tobias defending me, don't call Rofi a nit. I appreciate it. We have a playable hand on table 3. And we also have a hand going on table 4, which I'll show in a second. 9-8-7 connected board. We have a backdoor flush draw, but I think I'm going to check this behind. Would rather bet 10-8, Jack-8. Obviously 9x ends, and then my pairs without a redraw. I think I'm just going to check behind. We pick up a backdoor flush draw. And so I think actually I'm gonna check this back one more time. It's quite thin to still bet an 8, and without improving to the flush we probably don't have a very good hand, but I'm going to call if he bets on river. He can have a king, he can have a 9 occasionally, but against a block bet we don't need to be good very often, so just going to call here. He has all his hands in his range, and yeah, he's even bluffing ace high, so we definitely want to call. Table 2, we called multi-way with the recreationals behind. We went for a small step and we get 2 callers. We pick up a gut shot, but I don't think I want to bluff into 2 guys there. So yeah, I think you're just gonna check back, realize my equity, and potentially bluff the river if it checks to me again. Did you find a graphic card that suits you? Yeah, I got some recommendations from JetGTP, so I think it should be alright. Should arrive next week, hopefully sooner than later, and then I will continue the grind, and hopefully my PC won't crash again. Open raising 9-8 suited here under the gun, getting 3-bet, so we'll just have to fold. I mean, he always has nuts, you see. Yeah, one thing I learned here playing the Microstakes is, like, if you bluff, especially in big pots, better to just have the nuts, because people don't like folding too much. I guess it depends a bit, but you have to be somewhat careful when you're bluffing and when not. I have some more folds. Nothing too interesting going on. Table 6, we have a playable hand again. Although if we expect to get 3-bet half the time from our friend on the left, it's not great, but might even call it, to be honest. He doesn't 3-bet very large, and he 3-bets hands like 5-4 offsuit, so hitting a 9, hitting a king Might just be good. Good 4-bit bluff, but then we get into a kind of leveling war. So I think I'm just gonna call and not fold if I hit a pair. It's a bit loose, but you know, this spot plays a bit more like late positions, and there I don't mind calling. So let's just hope we flop something. If we 4-bet, he's never going to fold anything really. And we flop a flush draw, which is decent, which is a decent start. Goes for a small c-bet. We could check raise here, we could check call. I think I'm actually going for, I have queen deuce. Even more happy when he takes, because then very likely he doesn't have queen deuce. So we're going for the check raise. And we get 3-bet. Nasty. I'm not sure if we should just run it against this guy and take our equity. Calling and folding in terms seems a bit outrageous. So I think I'm actually just going with this. Don't think he really 3-bets a queen on the flop. And he just folds. Lovely stuff. 4-bit bluffing, guys, on 25 NL. That's how it's done. Meantime, we're also in a pot. Sorry, over here. We 3-bit pot basically min bets the flop. Check, check turn, and now block bets the river. I'm actually going to bluff raise this. I think it's quite credible we have a jack in this line. We might sometimes run into aces or ace jack there, but I think we get a lot of fold equity, and there we go. We get another one through. Running good. Our friend there says on table 6, mistake to jam there. I mean, I would never ever jam if I had any good hand there, but I guess he doesn't know that. So yeah, we'll just keep him guessing whether we had it or not. And we have a playable hand, but unfortunately he folds. Meanwhile, table 2, we open raised, and the recreational is leading out for half pot. Just gonna press call and see what he does on the turn. We see another half pot donk. The plan is to just call down if he has a better hand, so be it, but half pot donking could be literally anything, because he just defended the big blind. He didn't even face a c-bet, so he can have any 2 cards there. And on the hard river, I don't think he can go for value anymore, so we're just gonna check this back. And we win against a6. That's great. Yeah, 20 binds is good. No, I know. I don't think you can tell me who the bankroll net is. I think you're more conservative than I am. Well, probably similar, I would say. We're both reasonable, I think. Table 1, we defended against the button. We kind of call a small c-bet. Inspector, exclamation mark, bankroll. Yeah, so that should give you to, or you should get the link to a Excel sheet where you can see the current progress of the bankroll challenge. And we river 2 pairs, so we're gonna go for an overbet now. We'll do the same with like my missed spades here, 4-3, 4-5, just trying to get called by an ace. Yes, that's a 10 par. Tobias from 4-4, the good old gang in the chat, and we get called, which should be good here. Yep, win a decent one there. Table 2, we went c-bet, check check flop, and then overbet on the turn by this guy against the recreational. I think I am just going to fold this here with a bluff catcher, and again I don't really see him bluffing after he called a c-bet there. Multi-way on the flop, by the way. Tobias is saying doing good, bad start of the year, but have been sun running since March. Awesome, happy to hear that. Also the bad start to the year, but going better now. So that's good. Table 5, we went for a small c-bet, check, check, turn. Just gonna check this down. Not gonna win too often here, but sometimes against some ace-high hands. Drop it against pocket 4s, it's great. And on table 6, we have a potential hand that we're definitely gonna play against our friend there. Here we're definitely just flat call, trying to get our friend to come along. Hopefully he doesn't fold, but unfortunately he does. Very, very sad to see a fold here. Table 3, we have a hand against the small blind, which is interesting. I checked behind on the flop, and on the turn could consider going for a small block bet here. I don't think we'll get bluff raised much here, and we get some value / denial with that hand, and can check back the river. We could also check back and let him bluff, but I think if he just checks the turn, he's not going to bluff the river. And yeah, no other hands at the moment. Just some trivial folds. So yeah, for you in structure, the plan at the moment is just to build the bankroll from 500 up to 5k, and Peter's doing a very, very similar challenge at the same time. I'm just seeing who can get there faster. Right now we're at 628 bucks, I believe, and hopefully we can add some more after today's session. With ace 8 on a 10 high board, it's kind of the hand that if I'm betting, I'm just getting the worst ace highs to fold, getting the better ace highs to call. Ace 9 plus is probably just calling, so I think this one I'm just gonna check back. But he's tanking. Meantime, let's move over to table 2, where we have a much more interesting hand with the pocket aces, which we're definitely going to 3-bet against an MP open. Hoping to see a 4-bet, obviously, or just a call. Either one is fine, but we see a fold. Back to table 5, we see a small bet. We're definitely not folding. Could consider sometimes bluff raising, but I think just calling is the standard play. Really nice river. We can have some deuce X here. We don't block ace 2 suited. And on table 6, we're gonna get involved against our friend there, where we will be calling with the ace queen. And guys, we flop trips. This time we actually have it. Just gonna go quickly here. Gonna call the ace high down. Not expecting to win too much here, but we don't need to win too often. And this time on table 6, I think we again gonna go for a very small raise here. We saw he went quite spicy last time, and obviously we wanna play for stacks here with our very strong hands. This time he just calls instead of going for the 3-bet. Turn, I think I'm just going to barrel this one. If he has flush draws, etc., I don't see him folding yet. We're gonna stay small, give him a chance to raise, do something stupid. Maybe should have gone a little larger, actually. Around like 19 big blinds, I think would have been better. And the river, I think we're going to jam now. Good check, let him bluff, missed spades. Careful, he says. And then that makes me feel like he has like... Really unsure about this, but maybe calls of jacks 10s. Just gonna put this in. We get a snap call. Here's king queen. Unfortunate for him, this is just a cooler. But yeah, happy to take down another one. Almost feel bad for this guy. We stacked him for the 4th time now. But yeah, we take it. And he's still there, guys. He's still there. Still out and about So let's see if we can get him one more time. In the meantime, on table 1 we are 3-betting, and we get a call. We flop top pair, not too bad, not too bad. Going for a c-bet and take it down. On table number, this is table number 4, we're gonna double barrel with our flush draw, and we hit a pair, which we're going to check and hopefully win against some ace highs. Don't want to see a bet from in position. Really just want to see a check back. And he goes on overbet as well. Not too happy. Can have deuce X. This is really interesting. Does he overbet a 10? Does he have a deuce? Wouldn't he raise that on a double flush draw board? There's a lot of missed draws, which you obviously block a lot of them. I think I'm gonna stay disciplined and just fold this, but tempting to look him up there. And on table 1, we went for a squeeze. We get a pretty safe looking flop. We could be ahead up against jacks or queens here, but with 10s, I'm just gonna c-bet and probably, well, let's see what happens. He still has 9s, 8s, 6s, 7s, 5s, so also loads of hands that we're ahead against. He calls. Queen on the turn isn't great. He can have ace queen suited, maybe king queen with a backdoor. Do we double barrel or do we rather check? I think we go for a small barrel here rather than checking. If we check, it's hard to see bluffs. You get a snap call, which is anything but good. And I think now we're just checking, hoping to check it down against 8s or 9s. And he mucks, which is great. On table 5, we river kind of the nuts, unless he has. We check flop, c-bet small, delays small on the turn, and now he leads out. It's a really, really weird line. What is he saying he has? Not really sure, but we're definitely going to raise this up. Just hope he calls us with a 10, but for some reason he decides to lead now. He could have 6-3, ace-3, obviously, so if he re-raises, I'm just going to fold. Don't think he's doing this with worse than a straight. And we see a fold. On table 2, we went for a 4-bet, we take it down, and on table 6, we go for round 5 against our friend there. Unfortunately, we see a cold 4-bet, so we have to fold. Hopefully this guy is not going to lose his stack now. He obviously calls. We would have flopped up here, would have stacked off again. Let's see if we got away or if we just missed the opportunity to stack him. Goes check, check. He checks again. Guess this guy's just trapping. Really wants our friend Criminel to bluff it off. Would have made a straight, so really unfortunately that we had to fold there, but maybe our friend can win a stack now. Definitely a board that should favor his range. He jams. And I mean, if you're this guy and you have aces, kings, queens, you're not happy, but you should never fold. Yeah, even ace highs, you probably have to call down here. This guy is just absolutely crazy. Yeah, Atempar Tobias playing a 5-card PLO. Absolute maniac. I could never, I could never do that. I'm struggling with 2 cards, guys. I don't know even how he play 4 or 5 cards, but all the respect to him. All the respect to him for making it work. Going to 3-bet here against, which I thought is a recreational, but he plays quite tight, so I'm not too sure. We're still going to 3-bet here, hoping to just take it down. pre-flop ideally, or otherwise not see a 4-bet, which we obviously do. And we just have to fold. Alright, probably gonna do 10 more minutes and then wrap up the stream. Ideally, obviously you would stay until a way like this leaves. And normally, if I was playing on my limits, I try to wait until he goes bust before I leave. But on 25 NL, I think you can probably reload a bit too often. And I don't want to be here all night. But if you are playing those limits yourself, and you have a guy like this, this guy over here, don't leave the tables until this guy's gone. Either went broke or left. We have a chance here. If he 3-bets, we're not folding. Surprise, surprise, he does 3-bet. We're calling, trying to flop yet another pair. Pretty much anything is good. We flop a gut shot to the absolute nuts, which would be great if we can hit it. We see a small c-bet, which is quite common. Could raise, but I don't think we have a lot of fold equity here, and I don't want to get it in with just the queen high, so just gonna call. And on this turn, I'm just gonna check fold, hoping to see a check here. Still have some equity. Obviously a 10 on river would be amazing, but we can't really call. If he bets again, I think we will have to just give it up, and especially against the pot bet sizing, we'll let him have one. We'll let him have this one. So this one is for him. You took all the money of your poor kite criminal. Yeah. He won some back. He's now also sitting on 150 big blinds, so it's not that bad. He got some money back from me in this hand. He also wasn't texting in the chat, so it makes me think that whenever he's texting, he's kind of weak, and whenever he's not, he has something. But yeah, could get some interesting pots now, being 150 big blinds deep with this guy. And we have pocket nines, which is definitely a hand that we will open raise and never ever fold against a 3-bet against this guy. I mean, we wouldn't fold it ordinarily either, but unfortunately he just folds. It's always this moment when you see them, when you have a big, when you get a fairly good hand, and you get the recreational, and you hope like now is the time where you get to stack them all, and then they just fold. It's always kind of disappointing. But okay, just take it down with the 9s. We get a potential other hand that we can do something against our friend here. 8-9 off won't do it though. Zoom out again. Let's open a little bit wider there, blindy blind. The queen 7-0, table 3 we have a7 from the button. And on table 6 we have a playable hand once more. But once more, our friend just folds. Don't run now, I found a table with you. Wait. Did you? Ah, yes, I see you here. So for anybody curious, this is Sola in the chat. Check. Alright. Gonna play it a little longer then. Just for you. See if you can get involved. In the meantime, we're 3-betting the ace-king offsuit against the cutoff. But our friend just folds. Alright, we have to play against a hand against Solo before we end the stream. But at the moment we don't have any hands going on either table. Queen and off we could potentially open raise though, from the cutoff. but not when we see another open raise. Over here in table 5, we also have a playable hand, and we will 3-bet it against an MP open. Again, hoping not to see a 4-bet, but this one we probably defend against a 4-bet. Against a code 4-bet though, I think I'm actually going to just fold this. We're just dominated by his bluffs, ace king and ace queen, and I don't think he's 4-betting ace 10 there, king jack suited, so yeah, I think it's best to just fold this. Against a normal 4-bet I would call, but the code 4-betting range is just so strong that unless he goes really small, I think it's best to just fold. Going to 3-bet again here, hoping to just take it down this time. And we also flopped 2-pair here. Unfortunately went check, but I'm just going for a large overbet on the turn here after it goes check. If he has jacks, jack 10, picked up the spades, I don't think he will be able to get away from this on the turn. Yet could have checked as well to check raise, but I think just going for a massive bet with this hand is good. On table 6, these are the spots that you guys want to pay a lot of attention to. With a hand that can squeeze, it can call, it can fold, it can kind of do anything, but with this guy behind, we definitely just want to call and then hopefully play a multi-way pot with a straight if we hit the jack on the turn. But so far, small c-bet, kind of forced to call this. We could raise, but then we kick out the big whale, so I think we're just gonna call with 9 and 10. Could be good. We have obviously the nut draw, we have a backdoor flush draw. Yeah, just going to hit the implied odds here are through the roof, so gonna press call there, hoping this guy just doesn't raise, but he calls and pick up a flush draw. This could get really spicy. I would just call my 8s, my 5s there, my ace queen. It's quite interesting to see what's gonna happen on the turn here. Ideally just checks around and we get to realize the equity for free. If the cutoff keeps betting, it's rough because I don't see him bluffing into 3 other opponents twice, and he keeps on betting. Now the question is, do we have the right odds to call? We have a flush draw and a gut shot, and we have a really big whale behind, so I think we almost have to call. We could be sometimes ahead against 7-6 actually, so I think I'm going to call this, mainly just because of the odds that we are getting. If we were to hit, I would probably just lead out if I'm hitting, to be honest. But now, yeah, I'm just going to check fold this. Not much else to do here. I think turn call, we slightly don't get the right odds, but then we probably can lead out when we hit, so we almost have the correct odds to call. He jams, we fold. Unfortunately, we lost a medium-sized pot there, but I think it's fine. We have king 10 now. We're gonna open raise, call a 3-bet against our friend for sure. Goes a little bit larger this time, which I'm not too happy about. Goes to 12 big blind, which is quite a large sizing. Actually gonna fold it. This might be a mistake. Table 2, we're gonna open raise the ace jack. We get a call from the recreational, and we still don't have any hands against solo, unfortunately. We get a squeeze. Oh, solo also on this table. I just realized now. I mean, we didn't have anything to play, even though against solo maybe it would have been a good 4-bet bluff candidate. But we have him to our right, so that's good. He's not in position to us. If he calls, we would overcall too. He just folds though. And we flop bottom pair on a monotone board. This isn't great at all. And against half pot, we're just gonna get out of the way right away. Table 4, we have a hand that we will play with. Going to 3-bet against Carlos. Already got 600 hands on him playing this challenge. Take it down. Seems to be a solid regular. Table 2, we open up the ace-10 off. I'll just take it down. And yeah, we don't have any hands going at the moment. Maybe now we can play a hand against Solar. But yeah, I'm not gonna play too much long. It's already after 10 p.m. And he just folds. I would have 3-bet him with a good old 8-7 suited. We get 2 callers. We flop a flush draw, which is quite decent, but we're multi-way, so we have to be a bit more careful putting money in the middle. Obviously, it's a good board for us, but I think with 8-7, a weak flush draw, I'm just going to check this back. I don't want to put in too much money, and then when the flush gets there, I could be potentially up against better flushes. I'm just going, now that we hit the flush, obviously, we're quite happy. So we're going for a bet. Now, on the turn, unfortunately, we get 2 very quick folds. Sorry. So we'll have to wait for some more hands again. Pocket 4 on table 4 is one that we could consider playing, although it's a little bit loose from early position. But let's open it anyway. We have a recreational and a small blind. The guys behind don't seem too aggressive, so it might be just alright. Big blind is in the tank. Guess he's just going to fold. Yep. Table 1, we're open raising 9-8 suited from the cutoff. Playable hand facing a 3-bet. Well, we just take it down. Alright, table 2, Zola. Open raise from under the gun. Just takes it down. And we don't get any hands, unfortunately. Maybe on table 4. I'm gonna defend against an open raise. 7 deuce for you. I can't show. Yeah, that's a feature that's missing on CoinPoker for sure, that you can show. 7 deuce for you. Damn it. Guess I should have called my ace check off there, or went for the 4-bet bluff. No hands, unfortunately. Me neither. We went for a small step there. Once the small blind checked to us, we could have also checked back. I think either play is completely fine there, but with the backdoor flush, I don't mind going for a step now. And then once we don't improve, we're just going to check back. If I double barrel here, I'm gonna polarize to a fairly strong queen or better. And this is the river that we're hoping for, obviously. He's gonna have a lot of bluffs like 10-9, Jack-10, Jack-9, 6-5, 6-4. And we obviously don't just have an 8, we have a lot of other hands too. But because we have a decent amount of 8s, I want to have an overbetting range. Let's say I had 5-4, went for a step there. I would now go for the overbet, kind of wrap the 8. And if he's a queen, it's quite hard for him to get away, because obviously we don't just have the 8, we also can have a lot of other bluffs. But in this case he did just fold. Table 2, 3, we have an interesting spot there where we flat call from the small blind against the min open. Because we're a little bit deeper, these offsuit hands don't really like 4-betting so much. It's a really good board for us. I'm actually just gonna lead out here. because of that. Even though with ace jack we're kind of value betting, to be honest. And then river, I'm just going to check, winning against ace high, ace 8, ace 9, ace 10. Table 2, we see, but we got check raised, he checked us and we went for bet. And we take it down, and on table 3 he now bets. Again, I don't think there's going to be enough bluffs, although again he's not repping too much. But ace 5 is a hand that makes sense. You can check back some pocket pairs on the board. That's quite good for our range. A few playable hands here. Pocket 6s, and we also have queen 10 against our friend there, and I think this time we just have to call it. So normally not a call. This is just a Clyde criminal special. This could backfire. Well, we flop a gut shot, so that's something. My flop, he says. Well, I don't really think so. I think this is rather my flop, but 2 overs, gut shot to the nuts. We're definitely going to call one. Unfortunately, nothing on the turn. And now he checks to us. I'm going to go for a small step now. He says it's mine, which is very deceiving. I don't think when he says it's mine, he's going to just check fold. But we have a reasonable hand to go for a step here. If he raises, we would have had an easy fold, and we did river the straight, which is really interesting. I don't think going for a 2x jam here with just a 10. If I had jack 10, I would go for it. If I had a flush, I would go for it. Sorry, a full house. I think here we're just going for normal sizing. Trying to get called by aces. Check, he says. Well, we're not going to check, obviously. Maybe he calls like ace 9. Could be in his range. Not the biggest fan of folding, but obviously hard for him to see us put so many bluffs. We could have had like ace 3 of hearts, ace 2 of hearts. Why not jam, he says. Maybe he's going to jam. If he's going to jam, I mean, I'm not folding, but he's definitely going to have 8, 7, 6s, 9s pretty much all the time. Why not jam? He's thinking. Maybe we can get a call because we didn't jam. Maybe he talks himself into it even with ace king high. Wouldn't be surprised. I have an ace, yeah. I figured. Hopefully he makes a hero with ace. Queen jack, good hand. I could definitely have some missed hearts. Would make a lot of sense. And he flicks in a call, which we are very happy about. And he just mucks. But I guess he had an ace high hero call. Table 5. We got check raised really large and now pot bet into us. We have the ace of hearts blocker. Yes, he could bluff us here, but I think we're just not going to be good that often. So just gonna fold here. Table 1, 3-year pot and checks down all the way. And now he goes for bet. Really interesting. Didn't expect him to go for a bet, to be honest. So I'm somewhat tempting to call this now. I think there's a lot of random high cards to try to get me exactly off the hand I have. I'm gonna make a call there. And we are right once more. And finally we got a hand against Solar. Really good board for us. Really good board for us. So yeah, expecting a lot of folds. And on table 5 we're gonna lead out after having hit our flush after went check. And after all those hands, I think it's time to call it a session. We got called, which is great. And now we're gonna polarize even more, go for the overbet, really wrap a hand like king 10 with a heart, queen 10 with a heart. anything in that sort of range, and hope to get heroed by a jack back ace, maybe pocket kings, pocket queens with a heart, and yeah, let's go for it. But unfortunately we just get the snap fold. And yeah, I think I'm gonna call it a stream. I'm gonna sit out next tables and then we're gonna have a look at the results, which didn't start off too well, but then we got our friend here on table 6, which I'm almost feeling sad about leaving. But before that, on table 3, we have to get involved with Solar and throw in a little flat call, which I normally don't do, but in case we do hit a set here, which we do, guys. Of course we do. We flop a set against Solar. I expect him to just check it over to me, and you know, we would obviously go. Well, I hope he knows we would stab a lot here. So we'll go for a small stab, which I do with pretty much my entire range. And he does call. Pretty clean turn. And now it's time to polarize. In the meantime, quickly all in with ace king. Not loving calling it off, but after having put so much money in the middle, we obviously kind of have to go with this here. 10 on the river. It's not what we want to see. Hopefully we can win the second one, but doesn't look great. And two flops, 2 pots going our opponent's way, which isn't the greatest. Back to table 3, where we now go for the overbet. Really polarizing to kind of ace queen or better. Hopefully Zola has like a flush draw combo draw. Nope, he just folds. And our aces get no action. Very unfortunate, very unfortunate. So yeah, a little bit of run bad towards the end of the stream, but can't really complain after running so well on all the other tables. Losing 2 flips there, but let's go to table 3, sorry, to table 2, which, nope, is not this one, it is this one. There we go. Last couple of hands and then we'll have a look at the results. Hopefully, we're pretty sure that we have another winning session. Let me know what you folded, Solar. As you saw, I just had the nuts, obviously, after flatting and having a board like this one. And yep, I'm out now. At least we got to play a hand against each other. Would have been nice if we would have called the turn and the river. GG, you too. Alright, have a good night, Zola. Thanks for tuning in. Let's have a quick look at the results, guys. Give me a second while I pull that up. We wanna look at the results for CoinPoker. So let me, how do I filter this the best? 1 second, guys. Well, we have one last table. So just CoinPoker from today. Perfect. And let me switch this over here. There we go. So yeah, we started down 2 stacks and then turned it around. So in total we won $31, which isn't too bad. We were up 56 at the end and then we just lost 2 flips in a row. Run a little bit under V, about yeah, a bit more than a buy-in under V. But definitely take it. Really solid session with rake back. How much rake did we pay? Let me see. Where does it say that stats here? We paid 20 bucks in rake, so we get another 6 bucks back. 31 bucks, 32, bit more than the buy-in. Really good session. So it says, of course, you hit a set. I mean, of course, if you flop if you flat call a pocket pair, you gotta hit a set. Otherwise, it's not a good play, you know. But anyway, I'm gonna update the results in the Bankroll challenge. Another W for team GTO. Really hope all of you enjoyed it, and make sure to tune in for the next stream. Have a good week, and talk to you soon. Bye bye, guys.